I don't know about you, but for me, it seems like transfer dealing's happening even earlier than usual this summer. I mean, not even strictly in the summer. Still got one Premier League game to go, and it feels like a few deals starting to get over the line. Teams obviously planning for next season. Obviously, a few things already confirmed in terms of Premier League champions, teams going down. So yeah, teams seeing the benefit of getting players in early, having a full pre-season, and then hitting the ground running at the start of next season. And I'm hopeful, not holding my breath, that West Ham are going to do the same. And hopefully we're working busy in the background to get these deals done. Obviously, this summer is a massive one. We've spoken about that many times. It's as much about outgoings for me than it is incomings as well. Getting a lot of players out of the club. We talked about the players that are leaving on a free contract. And yeah, it's a massive one in terms of other players going out. But I think one player that will definitely be at the club at the start of next season is Ollie Scarles. He was recently crowned Young Hammer of the Year, and rightly so. It's been his breakthrough season. It's been one of the few shining lights of the season in what has been such a dull year for us. But Ollie Scarles has been a shining light. Yeah, breakthrough year for him. Been really impressive, getting a lot of first team football. And it'd be really interesting to see how he develops next season. And before I talk about that, I just wanted to remind you about our partnership with BETMATE. And there is a signed JARROD BOWEN shirt up for grabs, thanks to our new partnership with HOBBS Memorabilia as well. And also a £100 prize pot. So if you go into the description of this video, sign up via the link. It's completely free to do so, over 18s only. And if you sign up using the code West-Ham-Way-3, it's completely free. You can have a go at the Predicts game, and the winner, like I say, wins part of that prize pot and a signed JARROD BOWEN shirt, which is definitely worth winning. Also, if I can get you remind you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and drop a like on the video. I will really appreciate it. Yeah, so next season is a massive season for Ollie Scarles. It'll be really interesting to see how Graham Potter develops him, how much he uses him in the next season. And it's definitely apparent that Emerson has slipped down the pecking order in terms of the left-back position. And it appears now that Emerson will be looking for a new club. X has spoken about that recently, that Emerson will be looking for a way out of the club and may be sold if obviously the right offer comes in for him. And it does seem like that way. I think Emerson has been a really good signing for us. I think he's come in and been very steady. He's decent going forward. He's decent defensively. He's definitely not amazing. He's definitely got his strengths and his weaknesses, like all players do. But he's had some big performances, I think, namely against Fiorentina in the Conference League final. I think he was brilliant that day. And he sort of led on into the next season, playing really well. I think he struck up a really good partnership with Pakisar down the left-hand side. And I think he's been a very solid signing for the club. But I think with Ollie Scarles coming through, he'll probably feel like he wants to go and get first-team football and start to look elsewhere. Probably Premier League, or maybe he'll go to Serie A or somewhere else. But definitely feels like he's coming to the end of his time at West Ham. But I do think it's right that he is sold, but I still think we need to bring in a replacement. And I think a replacement outside of Kyle Walker-Peters, who Mark spoke about recently, that we are in talks with. Because I do think that we need a different option at left back or left wing back. And I think we don't want to be over-reliant on Ollie Scarles. I think with young players, it's as much about knowing when to play them as it's to know when to not play them as well. I don't think you want to overwhelm them with too much football, too much pressure at a young age. Don't get me wrong; he's old enough to deal with it, and I think he will want as much first team football as he can get. But with young players, it's often about consistency, and quite often that drops off, and you don't quite get one very good performance and then one not so good. And we don't want that to start to become a problem position for us. We don't want fans to not get on his back. I don't think we would do that, but start to think, oh, we need a new left back. We need a new left back, and that pressure starts to get on him. And then he might go one day. You don't know how young players are going to react. So I think we definitely need to bring someone in that can challenge him for that left back spot or left wing back, should we adopt the back five. And I think you're probably going to get the best out of Ollie Scarles as well if you're doing that, if you're bringing someone else in, because he'll be fighting for his position. And every Premier League club should have at least two players in every position. And all players at Premier League clubs should feel like they have to fight for it. That there should be no given right that they're in the first team. So I definitely think it's important we bring someone in. I also think it's important that we bring someone in that offers a lot something else than we've got with Ollie Scarles or even Emerson at this moment in time. Someone who gives us a real outlet, like we have on the right side with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Like I say, particularly if we do adopt that back five next season as well as we have this season, because I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka has obviously had a brilliant year, and he's been one of our few outlets going forward on that right-hand side. He's been one of the few players that's really given us width. And his physicality has been able to get forward and cause other teams problems, get lots of crosses into the box, assist goals. And I think we need that on the left-hand side as well. I think we've been lacking that on the left-hand side. We've been lacking a real presence, really. Obviously, Somerville's been out. We've been playing Kudus there, various different players on the left-hand side of midfield. Ollie Scarles has obviously played a lot at left wing-back as well as Emerson. And even Wan-Bissaka has been playing there as well. So I do think it's a position we need to strengthen. And I'd love to see someone come in with a lot of pace, power, physicality that we desperately need. And like I say, just provide us an attacking option down that left-hand side, particularly if we do use that five-at-the-back system. And then obviously Ollie Scarles, who I think he's got a lot of qualities. I think his aggression, his tenacity in the tackle, his work rate, he's sort of up and down that left-hand side really well. So I do think that would balance that side out quite nicely, and particularly if we're at home against a team that we feel like we should beat, we would start the more attacking option, and then maybe away from home where Ollie Scarles can come in and be a little bit more solid and aggressive in tackles and things like that. I think that will give us a nice balance on that side. And yeah, I think Ollie Scarles, obviously, he's got a lot to learn, but he's already shown that he's got a lot of qualities. Do think there's some defensive skills that he needs to pick up, which will come with age. Obviously, experience gives you things like anticipation and your positional sense as well. And I think they're definitely things that he needs to improve on. But I think he will just naturally. And it'll be, like I say, it'll be really interesting to see how he develops into next year. But I'm really keen for us to bring someone in at left wing back or left back who provides us a real sort of threat down that left-hand side, which I think we've been lacking. And like I say, I think you do need to be careful with young players. You don't want to be starting. I don't think we want to be in a position where we're starting Ollie Scarles week in, week out next season and just reliant on him at left back, because it could become a problem position for us. And like I say, there's no reason which a Premier League club with the finances available, we should do anyway, have two players in every position. So yeah, keen to see someone come in, but it'll be a really interesting position to see what happens, because we know that there's so many positions we need to strengthen this summer. I think left back will be further down the priority list than other positions. So I do think it's probably one that will be sorted maybe later in the window if we're just looking at players. Or like, Mark spoke about Kyle Walker-Peters, he can obviously play there as well. And maybe the club will look at that, or maybe Potter will look at that and think that provides sufficient depth, which I would disagree with that. I do think we need someone else in that position. But yeah, it's a big season for Ollie Scarles. Either way, I think it's going to be really interesting to see how he develops, how much he improves in the summer and he comes back. And I think we've got a real asset there. And I don't want us to ruin this. We've done plenty times before, but we've also developed some really good young players ourselves. So I'm hopeful that Scarles is the latter. And I think he's going to have a big future with the club. Up the Emmers.